All right, League of Legends, what's going on? We finally got some Monday night matchups to talk about tonight. The past couple of weeks, we've had pretty much all our games decided before Monday night, but thankfully we got something to look out for. So we're going to kick it off with Dennis and Cam. Dennis currently has a nice 7 to 8 point lead. Cam only has his kicker left to go. Really not looking like Cam's going to be able to pull this one off. Dennis counters with Jordan Matthews, who should have a pretty good game against the leaky Giants secondary. Barring any sort of crazy injury to Matthews, something like that, Dennis should be looking pretty good. You got to expect Matthews to at least get 10 points and put up a nice comfortable lead there for Dennis. Very rare that you see the kicker, especially a Giants kicker, putting up 15, 20 points. So not expecting a comeback from Cam there. It's actually going to be a pretty tough loss for Cam. This will be his third loss in a row, dropping him down to 3-3. Dennis will be moving up to 3-3. So a little bit of a swap there. Dennis getting hot, Cam losing 3 in a row. So let's see what happens next week with those two. Look out for them. Moving on, we have another pretty interesting matchup between Drew and Dave. Drew has a 30-point lead and throws out Zach Ertz. Really, he's only projected to get 10 points or so. Not even really expecting that much from him. Dave, however, counters with Shane Vereen and Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham has not practiced once this week, so I am not expecting a big night from him. He's also projected to get 20 points. I'm really not seeing that out of Odell Beckham. If you also look at his season on the whole, he's really been very boom or bust. Not many people would think that, but he's either had a game over 20 points or games under 10. So I'm leaning much more towards a game on the closer to 10-point range. Hasn't practiced at all. You'd think the Eagles are going to be really keying on him even when he's in the game. He might be on some sort of pitch count. It's a hamstring that's hurt, so he probably won't even be at full speed. Not looking like Dave's going to be able to make the comeback there. He does also have Shane Vereen, who has also been boomer bust as well. Really, he's projected for 10 points. If you can get 15 or 20 out of him, maybe Dave has a shot at beating Drew. But with Selleck also going, or Ertz rather, sorry, I don't see the comeback happening. Too big of a deficit there for Dave. Have pretty good confidence that Drew will come out with the win there. Drew, another hot team with that trade with Steve, Alshon Jeffrey for C.J. Anderson. Drew is really looking like a competitive team, and he's going to definitely be the one to look out for going forward. His team's pretty loaded. He also has Big Ben coming back possibly next week, maybe the week after. If you just look at Drew's team up and down, he's got some depth, got a lot of talent there. So watch out for Drew going forward. Now, come to our third matchup of the night. We actually have a guest here in Medford with us at 173 Fulton. Let's bring him in.
All right,
well, hey there, buddy. So, go figure, me and Adam squared off this weekend, and me and Adam have the closest matchup coming down to tonight. I currently have a nice 8-point lead cushion there. Adam is throwing out Sammy Bradford, and I counter with Ruben Randall, and I am shitting bricks. Really, it's been quite the battle, I would say. Valiant fight there. It's kind of swayed back and forth between the both of us. Starting off, it looked like I was going to kind of blow it out of the water, but you had Keenan Allen go off for like 16 catches and 200 yards. Pretty crazy. So, looking like a pretty tight matchup. If you look at the projections, I'm projected to win by 3 points, but as we all know, that can sway pretty greatly. So, Adam, how are you feeling tonight going into the matchup?
Despite Sean's repeated attempts to swindle me out of some of my better players, I have not made a trade for a quarterback, and thus am starting Sam Bradford, who I have pretty much zero confidence in week and week out. But he's facing a porous and very generous Giants defense that is not really good on the blitz, and he's got roughly a 70% completion percentage when he does, when he's not being blitzed.
Good stats there. Right, stats.
Yeah, just thought I'd add that.
You've done some research, I see.
I've looked into it a little bit. That being said, I have terrible luck in fantasy, and I think that Ruben Randall will have some sort of screwball game, like 3 receptions for like 33 yards and 2 scores. I just think that he's going to, in the end, he's going to get some like garbage time touchdown that's going to ruin my night. So hopefully Bradford can come out and have a nice game. 8 points is kind of unfortunate. Obviously, like Garrett Blunt was not rooting against him, was never rooting against him. Obviously, always root for the Patriots.
Yep.
Was a little disconcerted when he caught that pass on that broken play because he hasn't caught a pass, in like...
That was his first receiving touchdown of his career. They said his first receiving touchdown since high school.
Which is completely crazy.
I'll take it.
But, yeah, no, absolutely, he'll take it. So hopefully Sammy Bradford can have a big game and Randall will re-aggravate his hamstring. I'm not wishing any
You can't wish
on
injuries on players.
I know.
Come on.
I don't wish injuries
on
them.
Here.
I know.
Fantasy, you got to play fair.
No, you got to play dirty.
You can hurt players, don't injure.
Right.
Yeah, so, I'm countering with Ruben Randall. Picked him up off waiver wire. Really just kind of thrown a dart in the dark. Hopefully, he's projected for 10 points. Hoping that Odell Beckham injury is going to help me out there. Hopefully, Ruben Randall will be kind of the lead receiver there. So hopefully, he just gets kind of the 10 points to 15 points that I would need. Really, if he gets those projected points, Bradford is going to have to put up, like 25 to 30 points for you to make up the difference. So really, Bradford hasn't had many games like that. He's had one game of over 25 points this year. So he does have a great matchup. So it's really going to be a tight game to watch. Really going to have to watch it all the way to the end there. So going to be very tight and could sway both me and Adam's seasons. I have 4 losses in a row, so I'm looking to move up to 2-4, kind of keep some life in my season. Adams, you've started out pretty hot. This would be a big win for you to keep you in contention. You don't want to start back down that slippery slope. So
otherwise, I'll kind of fall back to the pack where it's going to be a log jam with a lot of teams at 3-3. So
yeah,
I'm hoping to stay ahead of the curve.
A lot of teams sinking down to the middle there. Really, it looks like Drew, Bud, and Ryan are kind of the favorites right now. All 3 of those teams look pretty primed to kind of take off. Ryan's still undefeated. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. Going to be a tight one between us tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so best of luck, and thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure.